and take, it's yours, not mine. The thread you weave, I walk the line. If joy won't come, then let me see the worth in what you keep from me. Your hand decides what
Episode 11. It's yours, not mine. Part 3. The Sovereignty. Chorus 2, lines 1 to 3. You give and take, it's yours, not mine. The thread you weave, I walk the line. If joy won't come, then let me see the worth in what you keep from me. There is a moment in the book of Job that I think we rush past too quickly. Job has lost everything. Not some things, everything. His children, his wealth, his health, the life he built over years of faithfulness and integrity, gone. And his wife, standing in the ruins of it, says the only reasonable thing she can think to say, "Curse God and die." Which is not cruelty exactly. It is the honest conclusion of someone who has watched the math stop working, who believed that faithfulness produced blessing and has now seen that equation shatter completely. Curse God and die is what the end of that equation sounds like when it has nothing left to protect. And Job says, shall we accept good from God and not trouble? That is the question. Part 3 of this song is built on, and I want to sit with it before we go any further, because it is more radical than it sounds. It is not asking whether we can endure trouble. It is asking something more fundamental. It is asking whether our relationship with God is conditional on the receiving. Whether we have, without fully realizing it, constructed a version of faith that is really just a transaction. I bring my faithfulness, God brings the blessing. And if the blessing stops coming, then the transaction has been violated, and the anger is justified, and the accusation is fair. You give and take, it's yours, not mine. This is the line that dismantles the transaction, and I want to be honest about what it costs to say, because everything in us that has been measuring, comparing, keeping account of what was given to others and withheld from us, all of that is built on the implicit assumption that the things we long for are in some sense ours to claim, that we had a legitimate case, that the lacking was an injustice precisely because we had a right to what was withheld. And this line says, no, it was never yours to begin with. Not as a dismissal of the longing, not as a minimizing of the pain, but as a reorientation of the entire frame. But here is where I want to take this further, because even that reorientation, it's yours, not mine, can still be subtly self-centered if we stop there. Even the acceptance of God's sovereignty can become another form of the same inward focus if we frame it only as, this is about what God is doing in me, for me, to prepare me, to shape me, to make something better in me. That framing is true as far as it goes, but it doesn't go far enough, because the real turn, the full turn, the one that grace has been burning its way toward through everything we've walked through in this series, is not just from it's mine to it's yours. It is from it's about me to it's about him. God is always the main character in the story, even in ours. I need to sit with that because I think it is one of the most clarifying and most difficult things to actually believe. Envy, by its nature, makes us the center. It is the most self-centering force there is. Everything is measured in relation to what I have, what I lack, what I deserve, what others have that I don't. The whole world contracts to the size of my want. And even when grace begins to break that open, even when the stripping happens and the pride surfaces and the lies are burned away, it is remarkably easy to simply relocate the self-centeredness, to move from, God, why aren't you giving me what I need, to, God, what are you doing in me, for me, to me? Still me at the center, still my story as the primary story, just with a more spiritual vocabulary around it. The full turn is harder than that. It asks us to look past even our own transformation, past what God is doing in us, to what God is doing, full stop. To His purposes, His glory, His story that our story is a small but real part of. All these things that God keeps from us, takes from us, prepares us for, and gives to us, they are not primarily about us, they are about Him. They are the instruments by which He displays His glory, accomplishes His purposes, weaves His design in the world. We are not the point, we are part of the point. And the difference between those two things is everything. Isaiah heard it this way: I am God, and there is no other. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times things not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will accomplish all my purpose. His counsel, His purpose, standing and accomplished, not because it serves our comfort or resolves our lack or answers our accusation, but because He is God and His purposes move forward according to His character and His glory and His plan for the whole of what He is making. We are in that plan, held in it, known in it. The hairs of our heads numbered within it, but we are not make us smaller or less valued or less known. It actually does the opposite. Because when you stop being the center of the story, you stop carrying the weight that comes with being the center of the story. You stop having to make sense of every withholding as something that is happening to you. You stop having to resolve every lack as evidence about your worth. You stop measuring your story against everyone else's story because you understand, finally, that the stories are not in competition. They are all threads in the same cloth, being woven by the same hand toward the same end. The end is His glory, the display of who He is, the completion of what He set out to make before the foundations of the world. And your thread, your specific, dark, hunger-filled, grace-stripped, hard-won thread, is part of that. Not incidentally, intentionally. The withholding shaped something. The lacking built something. The long unanswered prayer produced something that the answered prayer would have bypassed entirely. Not because your pain was the point, because His glory is the point. And His glory is displayed not only in the giving, but in the taking. Not only in the answered prayer, but in the wisdom that withheld the answer long enough for something deeper to form. The thread you weave, I walk the line. Two perspectives on the same reality. The weaver sees the whole cloth. The thread walks the line. And the thread, in the dark, in the hunger, in the not seeing, can rest in this. The one doing the weaving knows what he is making. It is not random. It is not indifferent. It is not the careless distribution of blessing and lack by a God who isn't paying attention. It is purposeful. It is intentional. It is aimed at something. And that something is larger and more glorious and more complete than anything we could have designed for ourselves if we had been handed full control of our own story from the beginning. If joy won't come, then let me see. Not, if joy won't come, give me a substitute. Not, if joy won't come, explain yourself. If joy won't come, let me see. Let me see past my own lack to what you are doing. Let me see past my own story to the story I am part of. Let me see, even partially, even dimly, even through the glass darkly, what the thread I am walking is contributing to the cloth you are weaving. Let me see you. Not just what you are doing for me, you. The worth in what you keep from me. There is worth in it. Not because the pain is worth it in some transactional exchange, but because the worth belongs to the one whose purposes the withholding serves. The worth is his. The glory is his. The story is his. And we are in it, known in it, loved in it, shaped by it. That is enough. More than enough. More than anything envy was ever reaching for. It's yours, not mine. God is the main character. Even in our story, especially in our story.
Ooh.